Hi, Edward McEachern, CMO at Pacific Shore Health Plans. Today I want to talk to you about actions we can take to get ourselves back to the new land of new normal. There are things that we can do that helps both the economy and the healthcare system under an oversupply. We will soon have testing at a lot of sites, both for testing if you have the virus emergently or urgently, and getting that RT-PCR. Those tests are pretty well available at this point. The testing that's coming online right now is a test for surveillance. And once that comes on, we'll know if we've got herd immunity or not and have a very good idea about where we can go with that. And that will inform next steps in our community. We have in our footprint, so Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana, greatly expanded telemedicine capacities, and we have doctors who are facile at using those. And I would encourage you, if you need help now from a physician, to reach out to your doc and engage in telemedicine. There are many different ways that you can do that. The platforms are pretty easy to use. If you can use FaceTime or Zoom or Skype, you can use telemedicine, and that would be very helpful. Think also about our vulnerable populations and what you can do for them. They're going to get through this by help from us, and they're going to need our help. And so if you have people who you know who are vulnerable, older folks, folks who are housebound or homebound, folks who have chronic diseases, please help them out as you can along the way. We're going to need to continue to support our clinicians in their efforts. They're at the front line, and they literally are dying for you. And so whatever protective equipment we can give them, whatever grace we can give them, whatever help we can give them to be safe in their jobs so that they can help us ultimately is going to be very important. And each community, the way this work unfolds is going to be different. And so we've got some very strong local leadership that I've been real amazed in the footprint that we work in and how great our community leaders are. And so if you can help our communities and help our community leaders out in your community with actions that are specific to it, that's fantastic. I would hope you would do that and avail yourself of that help as far as you are able. Use your noggin. Keep your head in this game. Don't let your own thoughts defeat you. And then finally, get ready for this new normal. One of the ways that we can do that is use what I call an OODA loop. Sometimes the things that we're going to start seeing coming to us are not going to make sense from where we are in our old normal. And observing, orienting, deciding and acting how to deal with that is going to be important in the new thing. The two things that I want to say right now, one of them is there's going to be a revolution in healthcare, probably for the better over the long haul. But right now we've got a problem. Many of our providers are dealing with selflessly low volumes. We've asked people to stay away from healthcare facilities for very good reasons. But as I alluded to earlier, we've got fantastic telemedicine capabilities. And if we don't start using our providers, one of the problems that we're going to have is these providers are going to go out of business, and that's not good for all of us. And so my plea to you is if you need help, if you have a chronic disease that you could use, or you could do anything over telemedicine, please reach out to your provider today in the next week or so and engage with them so that they can help you along this way. The telehealth work is, we've described it in a different video, but it's medical care by electronic means is kind of what I think about it is. There's a law called the HIPAA law, which is a Privacy Act that Congress recently changed greatly that allows us many different ways to interact with our telemedicine providers. Most insurance plans, not just Pacific Source, but many insurance plans have greatly opened up and created opportunities for both the patient and the doc to work through telemedicine. And most docs can now see you using a variety of different means of synchronous platforms. You may have a copay, but the docs are moving rapidly toward treatment where possible over the media, so call your docs. Anyway, I really appreciate the time that you guys have given to us and tuning into this media. One of the things that I was thinking about this week was a quote by Willa Cather in a book called Death Comes to the Archbishop, and I'll read it to you. The old man smiled. I shall not die of a cold, my son. I shall die of having lived. Thanks for watching. If this is helpful, send it on to other people. Edward McEachern, CMO, Pacific Shore Health Plans.